So the main purpose, if somebody asks for system, you already explained that metadata, right? We already discussed about metadata, and you are absolutely clear about that. Same thing for sysops, you are absolutely clear about that. It's going to have AWR report related data, or actually it's a snapshot of our database. Through that snapshot only, AWR reports took the data. So we have like performance related data. What you said, that is correct. Okay, that is making sense basically. Okay, user tablespace, you said user related, whichever users are creating any tables related data will be available to the specific database called as a tablespace called users. Temp, you said that okay, any sorting operation will be happening. But if I'll ask you a little bit deeper sense, not in the surface level, what is the exact use of undo? So I need one more time answer. Maybe you can repeat the same thing, then I'll take over from there. Undo. What is the actual use of undo? Undo tablespace. Yeah, you're on mute.
Yeah, the undo tablespace has the before image of the DML statements, so that if you do a rollback, you're able to go back to that before image.
So you said DML only?
That's what I understand. DML, the select, insert, update, delete.
Mm-hmm. So why Oracle is doing so? Before image, what is the use of before image? In case you are doing rollback, that is the main thing, or something else is there? As per your understanding so far, whatever research or whatever understanding you have gone through the documents. Hope questions.
Well, if there's a crash, so it's involved in recovery. So if you yeah, so that's if there's some kind of crash, or there's some kind of emergency where you need to recover the data, you have that image available to you. That's yeah. So I guess I could do, look more into that, get into more detail regarding that, but that's my basic understanding.
Okay, yeah, basic understanding was okay, but it's having some doubt. Okay.
Okay.
In next 15-20 minutes, or maybe it may take half an hour, that's okay. This is going to be lifetime asset for you, because these are the things haunting me for next means when I started my career 7-8 years, and all interview I used to go and mess up.
Okay.
So I don't want you to do the same thing like me. That is the reason I'm going to invest this time, and this is going to give you an absolute clear idea what is happening behind the scene. Okay, so the topic is basically what we are trying to discuss. Actual purpose of undo tablespace data file Oracle have implemented or Oracle have kept. And without undo tablespace, database will not work simply. Without undo tablespace, simply the basic rules of any RDBMS, that means Courts rule, you may have heard something called Courts rule. And gentleman, Dr. E.F. Courts, he have given some set of rules. If any databases following those rules can be called relational database management system. Okay. And one of the main rules says that the data should be consistent across user if the state of the data is not set permanent. What does it mean?
Is not set. What was that again? If it's not set?
Yeah. If it is not saved permanently.
Okay.
Example, Courtney have user called Courtney. He have logged in and he have updated one table. until unless Courtney is not giving commit, that state of the data cannot be affected, reflected through other sessions of Courtney.
Mhm. Right.
That is, I'm going to discuss a little bit in detail.
Mhm.
State of the data should not be shown if it is not saved permanently by the session. So I'm sharing my, hope you can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Now, the picture is very clear. This is our database, and inside that we are having this, and inside that n number of table spaces are there, whatever discussed, and assume so-called the color red one is undo.
Okay.
Now, what is happening? Black is user data, because mainly we are dealing with the user data, and the user data is getting whatever transaction related thing is going to be there in undo. That process, that operations we will be discussing in next few minutes. And for that, what that n number of users are there, and for showing you, I'm just assuming only 3 sessions, and each and every session is connecting with a user called HR. We all know HR user, right?
Okay. Yeah.
HR
Mhm.
or Scott. Do you have any idea about HR and Scott?
I think you mentioned Scott was just a generic user that throughout the years people have just used that name as
For
just a
technical purpose. Yeah. So this is a sample user available when you will be installing Oracle database. For all the practices in SQL, we used to do in Scott or HR.
right.
So in version Oracle 8 or 9, only Scott user were there. 9 onwards, HR and Scott both user used to be there default in the databases when you will be installing Oracle database. So it's just for practice sample user or sample schema we used to say. Okay. Now, when as a DBA, whenever we are going to use or work, we will be always using as this user, correct? But application will be using different user. That you as a DBA will be created as per the standard, as per the process built through the management approval.
Okay.
This is a normal rule basically for any organization. Though we are doing practice, I'm going to use much more either of one, means either HR or Scott for just example purpose.
Okay.
And once we will learn how to create user, you can create your own username. I can create my own, and then we will be using any one of us. But here, what is happening? It is going to affect the undo. Okay. So, simple thing. I'm going to open 2 terminals to prove the theory here, what I'm going to show. So that, let me. Now, question is, if somebody will ask, though you are logged in very first time into the database, you joined just Monday, and after getting all the approval, you got the access to the database. And you have logged in into the database, and you want to check whether the HR or this Scott is there or not. How you're going to check? Okay, so definitely we need to just check as a DBA whether the database is up and running or not. So PS-EF grad 3 months. Here we cannot see, so we are going to ORA-01555, then ORCL, because I know ORCL is the database, otherwise we know how to check basically. Okay. So say there is DBA, and then I'm going startup. Okay, so in the meanwhile, it is going to take a little time to start up the this thing. Okay, but in the meanwhile, I'm setting up with the another window, another this thing. Okay, so I have opened another this thing, and here also ORA-01555, ORCL, and if I'll check in this whether database is up and running or not, you can see database is up and running. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can just log into another data, another prompt, else is DBA only. How to check whether HR and Scott is there or not. So there is a view called DBA_users. Very important. And that is the only reason I'm showing this view. HR is there when it is created, 26 February 2022.
Good.
Very important non-technical thing I'm going to use here. You will be facing from day one as an experienced DBA. Question is, Upendra, it doesn't seem good. It should be then, it should be showing in one line. It will be great to read it. Are you getting this? This is not, it should be in one line. You will
Right.
feel it's more readable, because right now only one user, we may check 2, 3, 4, or somebody will ask you, okay, show me whole user available into this particular database. So you are not going to give a condition. I will simply give this command. See how it looks like. Little clumsy.
Right.
So again, this is nothing to do with core command learning or concept learning. This is totally to do with the specific, the task for the housekeeping. It will make your life pretty easy. Now, we need to do something so that it should show in a single line or one line. Here, one column is saying first line, another column is saying showing on the second line. Okay, so I'm giving clear CLEAR SCR. Okay, means it will show the clean screen. Here there is a command called set line size 300. Means in one line it is going to show you 300 character. Depending on your desktop or laptop, what size of screen you are using, that formatting will be vary. It may use perfectly okay for me in my desktop, but it might not be working in your laptop or desktop perfectly. 300. So accordingly, you need to adjust it. Maybe 200, maybe 400. That will come through practice. I cannot give any rule over here. But what I can tell you, 300 character will be shown in a single line.
Yep.
Slash enter.
Yep. Username, great. Yeah.
So only
A lot better.
line to be noted is this. So far, learning is to be this. Purpose I told you. And result difference in front of you. Half portion when I the black border. C top, C bottom.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So far clear? No,
Yes.
no, no.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
I want you. You can ask me a question. Upendra, I don't like this much gap. Though it's 2 column, it's okay. But if it is 4 column, it's very hard to just display in the screen in front of you. Because no space is there, unnecessary is consuming these things. Apart from that, you want to check the status of the account. Status means mainly two type of processes, two types of status will be showing. Unlock or open, lock or open. Lock means nobody will be able to log in if it is locked. Unlock means open means anybody will be able to log into the user. DBA have the permission to lock that user. Your management told, okay, Courtney, nobody should log in with user called HR. What you will do? How you will control? Lock that user. Courtney, can you please unlock the user called HR? It has been locked for last 6 months due to some management legal issues. Please unlock it.
Okay.
So first, Courtney should check the status, right? How he is going to check. So one new thing I'm going to show you. If you will give just L, second, little slow, wait for some time. Okay. So if you give L, means last line command, what you have typed, it will show you. Because sometimes the command what you have given, it's maybe 3-line, 4-line SQL statement. Retyping is very tough. And if you go scroll up and up and up, what command you have given, see what I'm doing in front of you. It's a clumsy, unsmart work, right? See? So then I'll do this. But if I can get the same command by a single L, I to go scroll for 500 or maybe 5,000 line top. Make sense?
Okay, yeah.
This line will come. Last statement only. If you would like to take, okay, no, I want to take last second SQL statement what I fired. It will not work in this way. Just a note. Only last statement will be shown in front of you by giving L command.
Okay.
Now here, but Upendra, I don't know what is the column name. Account status is the column, but suppose you forget, I forget, suppose. I don't know, Courtney. One column is there, which one we can just check the status, account status. How to check? Simple code describe DB underscore inbuilt view. This is metadata. But see how this format is again. It's a clumsy, right? See how it is showing.
Right.
Username, this. I want to fix it.
Right.
Set line size little less. Describe DB underscore users. Make sense little bit?
Yeah.
So if it is going to, if you will be giving too much, it is going to be clumsy little bit.
Right.
So you need to, but you can ask me, Upendra, how you gave that 120, it is showing, it will come through practice.
Right.
Little idea. There's no fixed rule as I mentioned. Totally depend on your screen size, what you are working.
Yeah.
Here,
that's good.
Username we know, I told you. Created, I told you, right? What I wanted to check right now, so many options, so many columns are there. I don't know each and every column's meaning, but what I know, which is being used in the day-to-day DBA practices. Okay, so as I mentioned, there's one other thing is that account status. As I mentioned, open or lock. So I'll simply go select username this, comma account status. Sometimes maybe which date, if it is locked, which date account was locked. Question to Courtney, okay, Courtney, your boss asked you, Courtney, please check and show me for how long this user is locked, if at all it is locked.
Right.
So these are the things available here. From DBA underscore. Now same challenge, see?
Yeah.
So if you will set the line will not work, because see, one user ID is column says so much character 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means around 50 or 60. So only 60 line, this only one column is taking. You need to reduce. You know the value is just hardly 10 or 15 character, correct? But heading is giving 60 or 70.
Right.
Doesn't make sense.
Right.
Take away. It's self-explanatory.
Right.
Call means column. Then which column heading? Username.
Right.
Then format is the keyword. A means alphabet, 30 means 30.
Right.
Number 30.
Right.
So this name, total 30 character value will be shown to you.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Make sense?
Yep. Yep.
So nothing here is rocket science, but only thing you have to do practice.
Yeah.
To start with, you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it's matter of half an hour only. But if you not do that half an hour, it is going to be painful for you in coming days, I'm telling you.
Right. Yeah.
Now, here, one more thing, Upendra, again and again, heading is coming. It doesn't make, I want heading at least once or maybe twice if it is true, apart from one single page. So in a page, you would like to show only one heading.
Right.
So, set page size 200. Means what? See the result.
Oh, I see.
Means one heading and next data value will be shown 200. After 200, 200 first again heading will be shown.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
Now let's see which all of the account belongs. See.
Yep.
So a couple of user I mentioned while doing this, right? One is Scott and one is this one, HR.
Yep. Yep.
Expire and lock means whatever password was there, that password is not going to work. You have to change the password. This is the rule. But Upendra, how to expire the password? What is the rule? How it is becoming locked automatically? How it is going to be unlocked automatically? All those things will be discussed in due course of time.
Mm-hmm.
Here, the topic, what I wanted to discuss is altogether different. Okay, so whatever we have done in last 10-15 minutes, nothing to do with any concept. It's to do with the practical only to ease your DBA activity, DBA life in the day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm coming to the point. Point is UNDO Tablespace. That is the reason we were about to setting the environment. So I'm setting the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here you have to log in with Scott. Okay, so how to, by sitting here, how to connect with Scott? See, CONN. Whatever username you would like to connect with, right? So,
okay.
Scott. Password is Tiger by default.
Tiger?
Tiger. Yeah.
Okay.
Tiger. Tiger.
Okay.
Where you are sitting right now? So don't confuse with the database name and username.
Right, right.
Okay, so database is the big means we have set the environment, that is the database. Inside that there might be 100,000, 10,000 user. Right. Here we can see 38 user. right? Few are system defined, few are for this, few are you will be creating in coming days. So these users all have some other task.
Right.
We all need to know. Even I know hardly 2 to 3 users or 4 users only. I don't know which all are the things for what. Doesn't require basically. No need to be panicked. Okay. Now, you are sitting on this one, and I'm going to open another terminal here. Okay. So let me. Same thing. Set at one go if you want to connect with Scott. So SQL plus. This is one way to connect. Okay.
Right.
You got connected. And I'm opening another terminal. And you need to observe what I'm doing. Okay, I'll ask question. Nothing to do with too much technical. Whole purpose day-to-day activity. These are the things going to make your DBA life pretty easy.
Mhm.
This is another way of logging to the Scott.
Sure. Yeah.
So if I'll ask you, okay, Courtney, tell me what is the difference between the two way I have logged in and which one is good and why? Which process is good and why?
Well, the first the first one, it's just one line. You have all the information you need, SQL plus, and then the username and the password. Whereas here you have to type SQL plus, press enter, then hit Scott, and then type in Tiger, and then hit enter.
Yeah.
So you have to do more steps to get to the same place.
Yeah, but which one is good as per your understanding? Keeping
Oh,
in mind, yeah, go ahead, please.
no, you can go ahead.
No, so the question is keeping in mind whichever way you are feeling okay, which one is good for you as an IT professional or as a non-IT professional, whichever way the status where you are right now. What is your thought process? Which one is good?
Well, I would go with the first one because it's just one line and that's it. But I notice you prefer to do, like, before you do the sys as SDBA as the username, then you press enter and press enter again. You prefer, it seems like you prefer that way.
Yeah. So why I prefer that? Is that by choice or is that by some rule by government or your company, or it's set by some rule by or corporation? So it's a common sense where we are going to use. We are a DBA. It's very high profile in the organization. Well reputation, well responsibility, much more dependency is there for the security of the database on you.
Okay. Okay.
If you will be using, you will be exposing your secret to everyone. Maybe behind the scene, one of the developer watching you, what you are doing. He will come to know the password, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Next, what I'm doing right now, I have shared the screen. Most of the time, you will be helping your junior or even to some vendor. Okay, this issue, that issue. If you are having practice to do like this, what will happen? You are exposing this thing. So whatever ISO 9001 or different rules are there that you are violating.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a common sense, but sometimes we used to ignore all those things. But these are the it's a big risk. Big means you cannot think of. And these are the real data we are talking about. We are not doing, it's a I'm not assuming that I'm just teaching you just a simple thing. I'm assuming you are a DBA and these things you have to do. Otherwise, your company, your team, you will be in trouble on a legal basis. Your company will be restricted for, the project might be scrapped for you. For you means the company.
Interesting. So even though you're logged in, I guess, yeah, of course, other people could have access to this. I mean,
Yeah, this password if you are
because-
closing now.
yeah.
Because a number of teams are involved. Everybody have their different level of credentials.
Right.
Because you are a DBA, you are people will be interacting from the reporting team, OBIE or different reporting team will be interacting with you. Developers will be interacting with you. Different level of developers will be, management people will be interacting with you.
Right.
Your director will be interacting. So you have to keep in mind all those things, not only firing the command. Command is just, you will be learning only 15-20%, but rest thing is the responsibility. Company is not going to pay or not paying for DBA $120, $130, $140 1 hour.
Right.
Due to responsibility you have in your soldier.
I see.
Soldier responsibility you have to keep in mind. Small thing.
Mhm.
Now, on what basis I am sharing with you in this so early? I messed up in this way. Same thing. Story happened with me. Almost I was about to got fired due to this. Nobody taught me all these things.
Wow.
And you can see the sensitivity, what I've shared with you. Later on, I realized, oh my God. I didn't thought that label.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Upendra, when you were learning, did you go to like a course like this to when you first started, or?
No, basically, course, I gone through course, but to be honest, I didn't understand a single line. To be honest, means I took a crash course for around 15 days for 8-hour daily.
Right.
I invested that time around $3,000. Means 20 years back, I'm talking about. Okay, but I hardly understood anything. So, but though I did the course on that time, crisis was there, I got one job, but I knew nothing as such, nothing. So that's the reason I took around 6-7 years to just work as a DBA, though I was in a DBA team. But I was not aware. So slowly I learned all those things.
Right. Interesting. Yeah.
And the mindset was also not there, right? And the way I'm discussing with you, nobody was there and nobody had time to discuss all those things. Senior are little bit, means these guys are junior, but why to share all those things, secrets?
Wow. That was the environment. Okay. Yeah.
So nothing to do, again, as I mentioned, nothing to do with the technology, but these are the things. It will reflect your character. It will reflect your seniority.
Right.
What you are thinking, and what you are thinking, you are going to do that.
I see. Yeah, I see.
Okay, now coming to next. So here I have created one user, right? I think test or something I created yesterday. Okay, let me create one. Create table. Test I'm giving, okay? ID worker 210. If I'll check here, though I have logged in with same user, so test it will show you. Correct? Stop me if you're a little confused. Okay?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Now I'm going to insert record, and this is the vital one. The reason I'm showing all those things, this is the only line I'm going to type. Insert into table values. Select start from test. Clear?
Yeah.
No confusion?
No, it's fine.
Here is output showing, here is not showing. Why? Same user. If I show you Scott, Scott. Again, my focus to let you understand the question only. I'm not bothered about answer. Every time I used to say same thing.
Let me see. So it's two different terminals. So I mean, so going back to the idea with the environments, maybe there's some parameter that needs to be updated here in some file.
No, this is very
Okay.
basic. Until unless you will not give commit command, the thing will be not saved permanently. I give commit here, right?
Yeah.
After commit,
Oh, I see.
so we know commit, right?
Right.
Yes. So both same user, but sessions different, right? Different identity. In one user, same point of time, maybe 1,000 sessions, 1,000 different terminal, 1,000 different team member might be working on, right?
Okay.
Each and every user, each and every session having logical own identity.
Right.
And that's what yesterday I told you, okay, that whenever you are going to work in the real this thing environment, real time. Okay, so let me show you. Second.
Yeah.
So in front of, I want to show all three. Yeah. So you have logged in with two session with same user. So one session means one work area. Two session means two work area. Whatever command I am giving through this particular session is going to be one work area. This is going to be separate work area. Whatever outcome it is coming through first work area only here. What is the output coming? So it's a separate entity treated by Oracle server. So we are having two different server processes for this two activity.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
If you'll see, remember the picture yesterday we discussed?
Yeah.
How the process is happening, how the output is coming. Same thing. Now you can visualize what
Right.
is
Yeah.
happening behind the scene.
Right.
Now I'm doing one more thing here. Extension to the next thing. Now I want to update set ID equal to 10, where ID equal to 1. So this will become what? 10.
Okay.
If I'll fire this, and if I'll show you what is showing
10,
10, and if I'll show you here, it is showing 1.
Yeah.
Question is, yes, we didn't commit it, that's what it's not showing, but internally Oracle is keeping this thing somewhere. Yes or no?
Right. So this is you have two different client processes operating. So the information is kept in two different work areas, right?
Yes.
The work areas they're not shared, right? So client process 1 has its own work area. Client process 2 has its own work area. So,
Yes.
so the second terminal doesn't have access. In addition to not committing, it wouldn't have access to that data.
But work area means your own work, but the table is globally available into the data files, not into your temporary, that so-called work area. Work area is the memory, always remember.
Right. But for the temporary, for the session, the terminal, I would thought the terminal, that process, you'd have access to that temporary storage, even though it hasn't been permanently saved in the database or the data files.
Got it.
I thought it could, each client could have access to the data that's stored in the temporary memory.
Yes. So if you are thinking on the normal logical way, you are absolutely correct. If I'll keep in your position, same answer I was giving. But while giving one interview, one gentleman asked me, okay, Upendra, it makes sense what you are saying, but suppose you are keep inserting data from morning 10 and right now it's 4 o'clock. In the meanwhile, you have inserted maybe millions of record. Do you think those millions of record will be there in the memory available? And like you, 10,000 more users are doing same thing. Do you think that 10 million record will be available in the memory?
Right. No. It could have been put into the temporary table space, possibly.
That's okay. You keep replying whatever you are thinking. Okay, don't hesitate. Okay, so counter question is temporary table space is mainly for sort operation, nothing more than that.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
bottom line, what I'm trying to tell, it is going to kept in the data file only.
I got you. Yeah. I see. Yeah.
I'm going to confuse you a little bit here and there, and I'll rectify. Don't worry about that. Okay, because
no. It's clear. It's clear. So in this case, obviously, if you did a commit, then the second terminal would have the updated information, would have access to that information.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. But without the commit, there's something else going on why the second terminal still wouldn't have access.
Yeah.
There's something else going on.
Yeah, that is only one point we are trying to discuss this. I can answer you in 30 seconds, but I don't want to answer the 30 seconds. You need to understand behind the scene what is happening. You will be able to control much more better. Maybe interview, maybe while doing the real work in the, if thing is mess up, one suggestion will fix everything. So we have to think a little bit deeper.
Right. Is this related to the PGA and how the memory is allocated?
Shared, na? It's absolutely clear. Whatever the way you thought through, na, you're good. But here the main topic, what we are discussing, the main thing is this only. Let me share my screen. Okay. Let me know you'll be able to see that.
Yes.
So what is happening? Take example here. Whatever data, the table information is there in the data file users, and the table what I'm showing you is this one, what we updated. And here we have given those data, right? Data means simple. ID was there, ID, and inside ID was the column. And inside that I gave 1. That is the only record we have, correct?
Right.
Now, this particular user have connection to this table also via whatever PGA, and I'm not going to that. And this is the second session, same user, Scott, correct? Having access to this table, correct?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Right, right.
And if he is giving that, he is getting 10, and he's giving the same command, he's getting 1 after giving update. He have this, the session number 1 have given what? Update, and not 2.
Right. I think I was reading something about the sequential access when you have multiple clients accessing the same table.
Yep.
There's a sequence of which client gets access to the information.
Yeah.
Right. There's something about that.
Yeah, something is there, but here the question is very simple. This guy have updated same table, same record. He's getting different value. He's getting different value. How it is internally getting managed by Oracle? That is the only thing we are trying to extract or trying to understand.
Right.
Because behind the scene, this particular user 1 is having 1 work area. This is also suppose this is also having 1 work area. This is also having 1 work area, and these all are not directly accessing this. This is via this. We are having some area here, data buffer. Everything is getting. It's not directly it is accessing this table.
Right,
Via
right.
this server process is extracting this and fetching this, and via this only it's coming.
Right.
If you remember yesterday what we discussed. But I'm just bypassing all those things just to show you the direct thing what is happening.
Mhm.
So answer is simple. Whenever this guy, session number 1, have given update table name value this equal to this, that is 1 equal to 10, where ID equal to 1, means this 1 become 10. So this image of this 1, because this is okay, this image, whenever this particular session is making 1 to 10, so 1 is the old value, 10 is the new value, correct?
Right. Yeah.
This 1 value will be copied into the undo. Server process will copy this string into undo tablespace. Why? And though the status is not committed yet, so when the session, whoever have updated that record, okay, whoever have recorded means updated this record, he will be getting the value from the current, because the current value become updated 1 to it's become 10. But other than this current user who have updated other session, if it is 10, if you open 10 terminal and connect with Scott, everybody will be getting select start from EMP, everybody will be getting 1 only. And that 1 is getting read from undo tablespace as per the architecture designed by Oracle. The moment you will give commit, listen very carefully. The moment you will give commit, this particular value will be reflected throughout, and this one become null and void.
Mm.
So going back to our discussion here,
Mm. Right.
going back to discussion here, same come, this is 10, this is 1. So here 1, whoever is giving the value 1 is coming through undo tablespace.
Right.
And this is coming through the actual means the main place which is getting updated. The moment I'll give commit, now undo null and void, everything is directly updated into the data file on the table, the block.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. Right. So yeah. So this you can't see my screen. Yeah, so this square, the square which has 10 and 1, that is a portion of the memory in the database. This is the in the data files. So that's a snapshot. You're taking a snapshot of memory in the data file. The block, the square that has 10 and 1 is a snapshot of the memory that's in the data file.
True.
That's correct.
What is that?
So, right. I just want to make that clear. So, okay.
I have shared that directly in data file just to let you understand, but the mechanism will be same way everywhere. It is going first data file, that database buffer cache. If it is full, then the database writer will write and all those. But ultimately, it will come to the data file, correct? So that's why I directly wrote this thing just to let you understand clearly.
Right, right. Yeah, I see.
Because don't think that everything will be going directly into the data file. Never, right? This is
right.
Yeah, just to let you understand what is happening behind the scene. I skipped that this thing.
Right. But when all is said and done, you end up with the 10 within a block in the data file and a 1 within another block within the data file. When everything is done, that's what you end up with. Right? That's what you end up with.
Yeah, undo data file basically.
Right. So the data, and then the 1 gets placed into the undo tablespace.
Correct.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Right. So the other terminals that the second, third, fourth terminals, they would only have access to the when they're accessing the statement, they're just getting the data that's in the undo tablespace.
Until
that's what they have.
Until it is not committed. Yes, you are correct.
Right.
This is the internal mechanism that Oracle have designed.
Right. When you have a DML statement like update, this is what happens.
It may be DML, it may be in DML, it may be insert, it may be update, it may be delete.
Right. Select to not select.
No, select
is, well, then select is just It's just That's just a Right. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Right. Yeah, it's a good. So that was a question that you were asked at some point.
Now I ask. Coming back to those things. Now inside stories we were going, but my question was, if we are giving this, suppose the actual question started with what is the use of undo?
Right.
This is the use of undo. Hope it is clear now.
Okay. Interesting. So,
But when
yeah,
you
so I'm trying to put it into words.
yeah, when you will read the document, it will simply give one line only. It will keep, undo will keep the image of old data. That's it. What do you understand with old? Now you will understand what is the old image.
Mhm.
Right?
Right. Right. Yes. So practically, when you have multiple terminals open, the terminals that the terminal that attempted to access the information last or subsequently, that info, if there hasn't been a commit, that information will be already placed in the undo tablespace. So the updated information would not be reflected in those other terminals. It would only be in the terminal that you initially gave the update statement, the update command. It would only be in that first terminal.
Yeah.
So, right. So, well, interesting.
The whole process, what we discussed in last 15, 20 minutes, maybe 3 line only. I'm saying whole process, though we spend some time, that is the whole, but only 3 statement if you will think practically. Okay. The process, what is happening and happened and what we discussed is known as read consistency.
Right. Yeah.
Very important question in the interview, and it is supported by undo only. And this is coming under the court's rule. And I told you one thing, that state of the data until unless it is not committed, means fixed, permanent, it should not be reflected anywhere in the world or any other sessions.
I see. Right. Right. Exactly. So yeah, it's only going to be reflected. The update is only going to be reflected in the session or the terminal that you entered the update command first. It won't be reflected in any other session until you do the commit.
Yes, this is the rule set. Why? To maintain data consistency.
Okay.
Because you are giving this 1 10, you are doing update, and the moment you will do this 10, and you are not sure you are going to keep it 10 or back to 1, and if it started reflecting the whole world, they will feel, oh my God, this happened, and suddenly you just take it back. It's illogical, right? It doesn't make sense to the world, the practical life.
Right. Right.
That's what it's a court's rule.
Mm-hmm.
If you follow, then only you will become a relational database, otherwise forget about this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Can we move forward? You're good with that?
Yeah.
Now, on top of it, small few things, but very important. Here, in this undo, once you committed, as I mentioned, this is null and void, no use of this, no more needed, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Because once committed, there's no use of this one, right? Because it's become 10 here permanently. So, but Oracle have some rule here. And the rule is, by default, this data will be kept here into undo tablespace for 900 second.
Hmm.
So almost 15 minutes.
Right.
So what does it mean? What will happen? Suppose the capacity of this undo is to hold only 3 data. Say, for example, it's not 3, but to show you the crystal clear thing. So if somebody else will update, so suppose somebody else updated 2 was there to become 20. So 20 will be there in the data file, 2 will come here, right? And same thing, somebody is 3 ka 30 they have updated. One record is there employed in the test table 3, he updated 30. So 3 will be there available here. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Same way it will go on and on. Suppose 3, and after that somebody will update, it will go for 4. 4 become 40. So 4 is the old image. Old image is going to be there in undo. But capacity of undo is 3 to hold 3 block only or 3 data only.
Right.
What will happen to the 4th one? If the undo is too tiny, not able to hold 4, is so as per rule, 4 will be replaced 1. As I mentioned sometime back that once committed, this particular value is null and void. So as per rule, what will happen? If space is not there, this will replace.
Mm-hmm.
But I told you sometime back, so Oracle have some restriction. Once committed, still this data will be kept.
Mm-hmm.
And if the situation will come that 900 second or 15 minutes is not yet done and something is happening like this, that means it is not going to, it will enforce you not to overwrite, because this is the rule. Oracle, you said that no, you cannot do it. So if this is the situation, some error will start coming and you have to take care of it. So if space is less, what we will do? Definitely we have to do what? Increase the size or add the data file into the table space? We'll be adding something. Somehow we have to increase the size, right? If
Right.
the space is not enough, logical thing is that nothing to do with DBA, you will have to increase the space.
Right.
But here a couple of questions is arising. Why Oracle have keeping, though you only told Upendra that no one is no use of that one once commit is happened, and that's true also. Why Oracle is giving some rule to keep it for 15 minutes unnecessary? Okay, so question is clear. Why Oracle is keeping this 900 second?
Well, that's so interesting because after you made the commit,
Yeah.
There is a way after you commit. There's a way to go back. I guess that would be the only reason is after you made the commit, there'd be a reason to still have access to that information.
No, you cannot go back. Once committed, done. You cannot roll back.
So what would be the reason to keep it for 900 seconds then if it's
we need to
understand
done. That is only first question I'm going to clarify, because sometimes we fail to understand the question only, and that is the reason I'm focusing more time on the question, understanding the question.
Right. Yeah. So yeah.
Because if you understand the question, when I'll answer, it will make more sense to you, and you will never going to forget in your life. And this is a very tricky area. I understood very late, man, very late. I lost so many things, so many opportunities due to this thing. And you are going to face this question also. Don't think that you are not. If it is, if interview level is a little bit higher, tough interview. If we used to grill somebody, we used to ask these type of questions.
Wow.
And if they are answering this, we are respecting their knowledge or the skill.
Wow.
So let's understand a little bit the scenario in a little bit in a bigger picture. And the bigger picture is the table, what we have created a test, I'm increasing the table size so that this table will consist of maybe 50 K records. 50K, okay?
Okay.
So it's a huge. And all this record is full. Some space is also there, but it's there. Now, this particular guy called Scott Sason 1 have given a statement, select star from EMP where salary is greater than 10,000. And so when it is going to fire this salary is greater than 10,000, suppose dollar. So maybe 20%, maybe 50%, maybe 80%, depending on the salary. Assume that 80% of data is going to be selected under the category. 80%.
Okay.
That percentage maybe 20, maybe whatever, but just to give you the scenario, I'm giving 80%. So a little bit more volume I want to display. Now, right now, suppose time is in my system, it is showing 12 p.m. This 10 p.m., this guy have fired this statement called, the statement is known as select star from EMP where some condition cell is greater than or less than whatever 10,000. Now, definitely it is going to take some time to extract those data, and so it will take 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 1 minute, depending on the server capacity. Assume normal way to display around, suppose 20,000 or 30,000 record, it is going to take maybe 5-6 minutes. It's not in a second, it will not display, right? It is going to take some time. Clear? Agree so far?
Yeah.
Now, at 12:15, so 5 minutes done. Okay, so 12:15, the session 2 did what? He have given one statement to delete from EMP where maybe salary between, suppose 3,000 to 4,000. 3 to 4,000. That means what? Who is coming under that? 3 to 4,000. That data will be removed because it is going to take comparatively less time. Yes or no?
Okay. Yeah, well, this is another
Session.
This is another,
Yeah,
another session.
Update, right?
Right.
Point of time, it's a concurrency is there. Concurrent user, maybe thousands of users are connected to that tape, that particular user called HR, and after that they are accessing different table, and a handful of sessions are using the same table where we are given select. May happen.
Yes.
Okay. So think through the picture. If you are feeling little uncomfortable, ask me. Okay. So this is the story we need to understand. This is the real scenario, basically. It is happening.
Right. Yeah. So the first statement you're selecting, so you want to select those records where salary is greater than 10K. So those records have to be available. You need to have access.
Yeah. So to understand the exact scenario, let's make it less than 10,000 salary. Okay. So not greater than 10,000, less than 10,000. Okay. So whoever is getting less than 10,000, those data will be displayed. That command you have given at 12:10.
Okay.
And 12:15, you have removed few data which is coming under the category less than 10,000. That means 3 to 4,000, whichever records, whoever is getting salary, those records you are deleting.
Right.
But when you are deleting, 5 minutes later, correct?
Could you say that again?
When you are deleting, at time 12:15 you are deleting, but select statement was fired at 12:10 only. So that 12:10 data was there, correct?
Right.
Here, after 5 minutes, you deleted it.
Right. But the first statement is still processing though, because it has, right. So you could get an error.
Yeah, normally logically, yes, because it's you deleted and after that you committed. Data is gone. Those data is when first guy was selected, the data was there. But in between, it is not displayed yet, but you have just cleaned up. Few of those criteria data is missing.
Right.
Yes or no?
Yes.
If you delete and commit, the data is gone.
Right.
But what mistake that guy have done? Because he have just when he is fire the command, data was there, so he should get data.
Right.
How Oracle will manage this situation?
Right. This is where the undo comes in.
Because
the undo tablespace comes in.
Those data, what you have deleted, that is there in the undo. Though you are committed also, Oracle have given some rule that you cannot remove those data for 15 minutes.
Right.
If the query, the volume of data might take half an hour, it might take. So if these kind of queries or these kind of scenarios is there in your database, you as a DBA might be giving order to your junior, hey guys, that this parameter is there in undo something, 900 second, please increase it to maybe 2000 second.
Right.
You can reduce also if the volume is not that much, why to just keep unnecessary hold the data if it is not needed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I see. I understand. Yeah.
So scenario is clear. What problem?
Yes.
Very good. Now I'm using technical term now. So far I was giving you just the actual story. The parameter, what I said, 900 second, it is going to restrain you to remove data. That parameter is known as undo retention parameter. Undo retention. How to look into it? So parameter, I'll show you just a second. I'm sharing my screen. Okay.
said you're sharing the screen?
Yeah, it is a little hung. Just give me a few
Oh,
seconds.
sorry. Oh, yeah, yeah.
So switching from that to that might somehow means
Right.
due to some resolution setting, it is taking a little longer time.
Mhm.
Give me just a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, also, yeah, I was asking yesterday about the just like highlighting or some of the sessions
Yeah,
that were coming up. Yeah.
time I'll do it. Don't worry. I'll give
Yeah,
me.
yeah. No rush, no rush. Just to get a
Yeah. Thanks.
view of. Yeah, no rush. I'll be back in just 1 minute.
Yeah, sure. So now the main key two questions are there for interview and for the understanding point of view. What is this key two question? What is the purpose of undo retention? So you know the answer. Whatever story I shared with you, same story you have to remember. If this situation comes like you have a retention policy, maybe 100-second only, or maybe 900-second only, that is not enough to hold the data.
Right.
It may happen, right? Yes. So what will happen? So one error will come into your alert log file. The action what you took will not perform better way. Like SQL query will give error saying snapshot too old error.
Mhm.
So whenever snapshot too old error will come, what is the solution?
Well, you'd have to increase the size of the undo table space
Or
increase or decrease the time
no,
before the.
increase the time. If you'll increase means the thing will not edged out the value what you have given in the select statement. So either way you have to do, either increase the retention policy. So it will hold the data, it will not edged out from the undo. If you will not edged out from the undo, it will display it by the user who requested.
Okay. All right. Oh, you talking about the second scenario where you had conflicting queries where the second query was deleting information.
Yeah, if it will
right. So yeah, so you'd want to increase. Yeah, in that case, you'd want to increase the
either one you have to increase.
the time. You want to increase the time, right? In that case, but in the first scenario, there was the undo space. It was 900 seconds, and you had ID 1, 2, 3. But there was another block that wanted to be added to that undo space, but there wasn't enough space there. So in that case, if the retention time was reduced in that particular case, in that first scenario, then that new block or that new data would have been able to, there would have been enough space for that new data in that particular case, because the first scenario, there were 3 IDs in the undo tablespace, ID1, ID2, ID3. And then there was a fourth one that wanted to come into that undo tablespace, but there wasn't enough room. So, but the retention time was 900 seconds. So if that retention time was reduced to, let's say, 300 seconds, then that ID number 4 that was in line to go into that undo tablespace, it probably would have been able to move into the undo tablespace because the ID number 1 would have expired by that time. Right. So in that scenario, that first scenario, reducing the time would have allowed for that new entry to enter into the undo tablespace.
Yeah. So we have to keep in mind the scenario or the situation, because if you will decrease the size, you will start getting more and more snapshot too old error. So you are trying to just accommodate third or fourth user, ending with more and more error of snapshots. Because if you reduce, what will happen? More and more query is going to be failed, right?
Right. Yeah. So, I was just looking at that particular example, but overall, you don't want to make the time too small.
It makes sense. But we need to keep in mind that as a whole scenario. I got your point, and you understood. You hit the nail. That's great point. Right. But we have to keep in mind, if you reduce now, what will happen? Another query will start giving error, snapshot too old error, because in all the management, they used to have the report on the daily basis in the morning.
Right.
And report means it's a huge chunk of data getting this thing. So better scenario, keep a little bit more retention policy, give a little bit more undo table space. This is the best scenario.
Right.
Make sense?
Yes.
And in front of you, this is the parameter.
900, yeah, set. This is show undo. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Right. I see.
Now, your small assignment is just go through, follow any Oracle doc for this undo retention. Everything will be crystal clear forever, for your entire life. You'll never forget, and you'll never confused, or you'll never messed up while anybody, maybe you're a super senior, maybe super junior, they will come to you, you'll be able to explain everything with crystal clarity.
Yeah. Wow, that was great. Yeah. That clarified it.
Yeah. Again, I suffer a lot for this. So I can understand. If you understand it, you might be thinking, oh, when there is this, it's super easy, man. I know now it's easy.
Wow. And so so you had gone through a process to get this information. It wasn't you didn't have people that were, okay, this is what you do, yeah. So you had to figure out a lot on your own.
Yeah.